It all starts on a perfectly normal sort of day, the kind that feels almost scripted in its predictability, as if nothing out of the ordinary could possibly happen. The sun peeks out just right, casting a golden glow over the rooftops and bathing the station in gentle warmth. Birds chirp, and the air is filled with the promise of a new day. The railway station bustles with life, porters with trolleys weaving between travelers, passengers sipping hot tea and sharing stories, and the station master checking his watch with practiced precision. Trains glide in and out, each with its own character, the speedy express, the slow local, all filled with people and stories. Every arrival and departure is a small event, a thread in the fabric of the town. The rhythmic, clickety-clack of wheels is the town's heartbeat, a sound so familiar that it's almost comforting, echoing through the streets and homes. Out on the tracks, rails glint in the sun, stretching past fields of green and golden crops, watched over by waving signalmen who keep everything running smoothly. The railway is the town's lifeline, connecting everyone. Children on their way to school, shopkeepers waiting for deliveries, families reuniting. It's always steady and reliable, a symbol of unity. Engineers tap at bolts, drivers polish windscreens until they gleam, guards check their whistles and uniforms. Everyone takes pride in their work, knowing they're part of something bigger. It's just another Tuesday, or so it seems. The calendar flips, and the morning unfolds like any other, with routines followed and expectations set. No one suspects that the calm routine is about to be upended by a sudden change in the weather. The sky, once clear, begins to gather clouds, but the townsfolk remain blissfully unaware. The keepers of the Iron Road are about to face a challenge like never before. Their teamwork and determination will soon be called upon in ways they never imagined. Their skills and courage will soon be put to the test, as they prepare for whatever lies ahead, united by their sense of duty and pride. The trains, usually gentle giants, are about to meet a very big, very wet adventure. The air grows heavy, and anticipation hangs over the station like a question mark. And it all begins with a single drop of rain, a tiny moment that will change everything for the town, the railway, and everyone who calls this place home. The sky darkens, heavy clouds gather with a sense of foreboding, casting long shadows over the countryside and railway tracks below. The air feels thick, charged with anticipation, as if the world is holding its breath. Soon, rain begins to fall. At first a gentle patter, soft and almost soothing, tapping on rooftops and leaves. But the calm is short-lived. The drops multiply, growing heavier and faster, until the gentle rhythm becomes a relentless downpour, drumming on the earth and echoing off the rails. Puddles form quickly, spreading across the muddy ground. They merge into larger ponds, then into lakes as the rain refuses to stop. Water pools in every dip and hollow, turning familiar paths into streams and fields into shallow seas. Rivers, already swollen from days of rain, surge and break their banks. Floodwaters spill into fields, surprising cows and swallowing fences, transforming pastures into vast muddy lakes. The water turns brown and wild, swirling with twigs, leaves, and even a stray garden gnome swept from someone's yard. Debris floats by, carried along by the unstoppable current. The railway, built low and close to the rivers for convenience, now finds itself directly in the path of the flood. The rising water edges ever closer, threatening the iron road. Water creeps over the ballast, then the sleepers, then the rails themselves. Inch by inch the flood claims the track, erasing the boundary between land and water. The line vanishes beneath the surface, now looking more like a canal than a railway. The familiar steel rails are hidden, replaced by a ribbon of muddy water. Signals stand marooned in the flood, their lights flickering and reflecting on the restless water. Once beacons of order, they now seem lost and isolated. Familiar landscapes become strange and unrecognizable, transformed by the flood's reach. Fields, roads, and gardens disappear beneath the water's surface. The railway, once a clear and certain path, is now lost beneath a murky tide. Only the faintest outline of the tracks remains, hinting at what lies below. The ground beneath the tracks is soaked and unstable, saturated with water and unable to hold its shape. The earth shifts and sags, threatening the very foundation of the railway. The iron road is stopped, not by a fallen tree or a broken rail, but by a vast, watery blanket that stretches as far as the eye can see. The flood is an obstacle no train can cross, the landscape is unrecognizable, and the railway's steady rhythm is silenced. The usual sounds of wheels and whistles are replaced by the hush of rain and the distant rush of water. For the first time in years, the trains are forced to a halt. The tracks lie empty, submerged and silent, waiting for the waters to recede. The town's lifeline is now at the mercy of the storm. With roads and rails underwater, the community is cut off, isolated by the flood's reach. And so, as the rain pours and the rivers rise, the adventure has truly begun, a test of resilience, ingenuity, and hope in the face of nature's power. The cheerful toot-toot of trains is replaced by uneasy silence. An urgent message halts a train miles from the flood. The driver, Arthur, brings it to a stop. Passengers look up, puzzled, as the guard calmly announces a spot of water on the line. Rain lashes the windows. Everyone knows it's more than a spot. The stranded train becomes an island of warmth, passengers sharing biscuits and stories. Children press their faces to the glass, watching the watery world outside. In the control room, staff scramble to track trains and keep everyone safe. Services are canceled, notices go up. All trains canceled due to flooding. The railway's hum falls silent. Crew focus on keeping passengers safe and comfortable, becoming captains of a stationary ship. Arthur listens for updates. The guard keeps spirits up. Their job today? Look after their stranded travelers until help arrives. The Iron Horse waits, patient and still, as the storm rages on. Floodwater hides dangers you can't see. What looks like just a harmless stretch of water can actually be a trap, concealing all sorts of risks beneath its surface. The ballast, those stones that keep the track steady, can be washed away, leaving the rails unstable. Without this solid foundation, the track can shift or even collapse in places, making it unsafe for any train to pass. A train on a weakened track could tip or derail. Even a small shift in the rails can spell disaster, putting passengers and crew at serious risk. Scouring is another threat. Fast water digs out the ground beneath tracks and bridges, creating hidden voids. These gaps can grow quickly, undermining the very structures that hold up the railway. A bridge might look fine, but its foundations could be left hanging in mid-air. The real damage is often invisible, making inspections absolutely critical after a flood. No train moves until every inch is checked and declared safe. Inspectors walk the lines, searching for the smallest sign of trouble because even a tiny crack can lead to catastrophe. Signals and points, the railway's traffic lights run on electricity. Floodwater can short them out, causing chaos. When the signals fail, trains can't move safely, and confusion can spread across the network. To stay safe, power is switched off in flooded areas. This prevents electrical accidents and protects both workers and equipment from further harm. Workers put up barriers and patrol the area, keeping everyone away from the danger. Their vigilance ensures that no one accidentally wanders into a hazardous zone. The water may look calm, but it can hide deep holes and debris. Sharp metal, broken wood, or even entire sections of track can be lurking just out of sight, ready to cause harm. Safety comes first. The railway is off limits until the experts give the all clear. No shortcuts are taken when lives are at stake. The message is clear: when the tracks are swimming, stay on dry land. It's never worth the risk to cross or approach a flooded railway. The railway's greatest risk isn't what you see, but what's hidden beneath the surface. Floods can turn a familiar route into a minefield of invisible hazards. Only patience and careful checks can bring the trains back. Every bolt, every rail, every signal must be tested before the railway can reopen. Until then, the iron road must wait. The tracks remain silent, a reminder of nature's power and the importance of caution. The flood has the final say, and only when it recedes can the railway safely return to life. When floods hit, everyone pulls together. Railway workers become flood detectives, wading in with poles and wellies to check the tracks. The community joins in. Farmers lend tractors, neighbors report rising water, cafes deliver hot tea. It's a true team effort, everyone working to get the railway back on its feet. At the station, staff care for stranded passengers, arranging buses, handing out blankets and offering comfort. Their roles shift from ticket sellers to guides and helpers. The control room works through the night, engineers brave the rain, and the station master keeps everything running. Drivers tell stories to children, locals offer shelter to those in need. It's a dance of teamwork, even if the stage is flooded. In tough times, people shine brightest. Together, they face the storm. Even in trouble, the railway becomes a hero. High embankments turn tracks into lifelines, rescue teams using special vehicles to reach cut-off towns. Relief trains deliver sandbags, food, water, and medical teams to those in need. In real floods, these trains have saved lives, becoming steel arteries of hope. Once tracks are safe, evacuation trains carry people out of danger. Imagine the relief of hearing a train horn when you're stranded by water. The railway's job is twofold: stop for safety, then help with rescue. The very thing damaged by floods becomes a tool for recovery. The Iron Road is more than transport, it's a backbone in crisis. It connects, rescues, and reassures, even when battered by storms. The railway's resilience is a beacon in the flood. Hope rides the rails. When the waters recede, the real work begins. The railway reappears, caked in mud and debris, branches, fences, even the odd garden shed. Cleanup crews arrive with shovels and hoses, scrubbing the tracks clean. Engineers inspect every inch, checking for washed-away stones and hidden damage. Bridges and embankments get special attention for signs of scouring. Electrical systems are dried and tested, every circuit checked for safety. Only when every problem is fixed can the line reopen. A senior engineer signs off, and the first train, a slow, empty ghost train, tests the track. If all goes well, passenger trains return, sometimes with speed limits at first. The clickety-clack resumes, and the railway's cheerful rhythm is restored. It's a careful, thorough process, safety above all. The Iron Horse is back on track. Every flood teaches the railway a lesson. After cleanup, teams review what happened, what worked, what didn't. They map flood hotspots and prepare for next time, working closely with weather forecasters. Early warnings mean teams and equipment can be moved in advance. Emergency kits, water, blankets, biscuits are stocked on trains in flood-prone areas. Real stories from staff and passengers help improve emergency plans. Kindness and clear communication matter as much as technical fixes. Engineers study solutions from flood-prone countries, seeking new materials and designs. Each flood is a chance to get stronger and smarter. The cycle is simple: problem, solution, improvement. The Iron Horse learns and adapts, ready for the next challenge. Rain or shine, the railway keeps chugging on. The future of railways is all about resilience. Vulnerable lines are raised on embankments, like giving the railway stilts. Stronger materials and waterproof tracks keep the line stable, even in floods. Better drainage whisks water away, and sensors buried in the ground warn of trouble early. Drones survey flooded areas, keeping engineers safe. The dream, a railway that bounces back quickly, or even keeps running through minor floods. It takes clever thinking, hard work, and investment. By learning from the past and embracing new ideas, the railway remains a reliable friend. Whatever the weather, the Iron Horse will keep connecting us all. The cheerful toot-toot will not be silenced for long.